Our story opens in 1996 in Brantford, New Hampshire, where a teenager named Alex Vreek finds an old board game buried in the sand. Dismissing board games as relics, he sets it aside to play video games. Overnight, the game magically transforms its internal components into a retro video game cartridge to entice him. When Alex plugs it in, he disappears into the console. 21 years later, we meet four very different high schoolers. Spencer, a timid gamer. Fridge, a football star who uses Spencer to do his homework. Bethany, a self-absorbed social media queen. And Martha, a shy, cynical outsider. After a series of infractions, all four wind up in detention cleaning out a dusty school basement. There, Fridge discovers the old 5-player Jumanji console. Curious, the group plugs it into a dusty TV, selects 4 characters, and is instantly sucked into the game world. The 4 teenagers plummet out of the sky into a lush, suffocating jungle, and quickly realize they are trapped inside the physical bodies of their chosen avatars. Spencer is now the towering, muscular adventurer Dr. Smolder Bravestone. Fridge has shrunk into diminutive zoologist Franklin Mouse Finbar. Martha is turned into the athletic martial artist Ruby Roundhouse. And Bethany suffers the ultimate shock of becoming an overweight, middle-aged male cartographer, Professor Shelley Oberon. Before they can process their body swaps, a massive hippopotamus bursts from the water and devours Bethany whole. Moments later, she reappears from the sky, landing unhurt. Spencer realizes the 3 black lines tattooed on their wrists represent extra lives. If they lose all 3, they die for real in the game. An NPC, non-player character, named Nigel Billingsley drives up in a vintage yellow vehicle to deliver their quest parameters via a cutscene. He hands them a magical gem known as the Jaguar's Eye. Nigel explains that a villain named Professor Van Pelt stole the jewel, placing a curse upon Jumanji. Their mission is simple yet deadly. Travel across the land, reach the high peak of the Jaguar Shrine, replace the gem, and shout Jumanji to lift the curse and return home. After Nigel drops them off at the edge of the jungle, the group accesses their character stat menus. Spencer discovers his avatar has no weaknesses, while Fridge learns his weaknesses include speed, strength, and cake. Suddenly, Van Pelt's armed henchmen swarm them on motorbikes. Spencer's involuntary martial arts skills kick in, allowing him to throw enemies effortlessly. Martha gets shot during the chaos, losing her first life, only to respawn seconds later as they escape into the trees. Using Professor Oberon's unique map-reading skill, the team makes their way to a crowded jungle bazaar. Here, they face a puzzle requiring them to retrieve a missing piece for their navigation map. Along the way, Spencer and Fridge's real-world friendship tensions boil over, leading Fridge to shove Spencer off a cliff, wasting one of Spencer's precious lives in a moment of pettiness. While in the bazaar, Van Pelt's mercenaries corner them inside a dark alley. Out of nowhere, a mysterious figure in a flight suit steps out from the shadows, activates a hidden passageway, and rescues them. He reveals himself as Jefferson Seaplane McDonough, the 5th playable character. Seaplane leads the 4 avatars back to his hideout, a rustic treehouse built years ago by Alan Parrish. Over homemade margaritas, Seaplane explains that he has been stuck on this level for what feels like a couple of months, paralyzed by fear because he only has 1 life left. When the group compares notes, they realize Seaplane is actually Alex Vreek, the kid who went missing in Brantford back in 1996. Alex hasn't been trapped for months. He's been stuck in Jumanji for 21 years. Stunned by the realization of how much time has passed in the real world, Alex agrees to conquer his fear and join forces with the group so they can all finish the game together. To cross the next vast expanse, the team needs an aircraft located in a heavily guarded enemy transportation shed. However, 2 armed guards block the entrance. Because Martha's avatar, Ruby Roundhouse, is equipped with dance fighting, Bethany spends a hilarious few minutes teaching Martha how to flirt and distract the guards. The plan works. Martha stumbles through a flirtatious approach before switching into high-gear martial arts, beating down the guards to music. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew breaks into the hangar and hotwires a helicopter. As they take off, a mechanical failure leaves the helicopter spiraling downward into a canyon packed with wild rhinos. Spencer climbs onto the exterior to repair the rotor mid-flight, while Fridge accidentally drops the Jaguar's Eye into the canyon below. In a risky maneuver, Spencer pushes Fridge out of the helicopter as live bait, retrieves the stone, and catches Fridge mid-air after he respawns. Just as they make it out, a poisonous mosquito bites Alex, draining his last remaining life. As Alex collapses, Bethany performs CPR, selflessly transferring one of her own remaining lives to save him. The group reaches the final stage, the towering jaguar shrine surrounded by a ring of deadly jaguars and Van Pelt's army. Realizing Spencer is too afraid to risk his final life, the team learns to trust each other. Fridge uses his zoology knowledge to herd an elephant, clearing a path through Van Pelt's forces. When Van Pelt blocks the path to the shrine, Martha purposefully lets a poisonous snake bite her, sacrificing a life so she can respawn directly at the top of the structure with the gem in hand. She tosses the jaguar's eye to Spencer, who scales the statue and inserts the stone into the jaguar's socket. Together, they scream Jumanji at the top of their lungs, breaking the curse and wiping away Van Pelt and his forces. Nigel arrives one final time to shake their hands, officially ending the game. The 5 players dissolve into beams of light and wake up back in the basement of Brantford High School, restored to their teenage bodies. Walking through town, they pass the old Vreek estate, which is no longer abandoned. They meet a fully grown Alex Vreek, who safely returned to 1996, named his daughter after Bethany, and lived a full life. Transformed by their shared ordeal, Spencer, Fridge, Bethany, and Martha leave as close friends. To make sure no one ever suffers the game's dangers again, Fridge smashes the Jumanji console to pieces with a bowling ball.